welcome back to another Extra Butter at Home. On this episode, Quibi brings us another treat you can enjoy 8 to 10 minutes at a time. This one, amazing and Emmy Award nominated, led by the all-star cast featuring Lawrence Fishburn. It's Free Rayshawn. Also, how do you describe Teenage Bounty Hunters? Other than it's a show about teenage bounty hunters. We'll catch up with the cast and talk about the show that's breaking the internet, courtesy of Netflix. Hey, and welcome back to another Extra Butter. You did it. You made it another week. What's going on in this week? Well, theaters have reopened in some parts of the nation, but not entirely, which means we're talking about a lot of stuff that you can't see in movie theaters that you need to watch at home because that's the only place you can watch stuff. Starting with something I'm very excited about, but probably not as excited as you are. And that is Teenage Bounty Hunters, Netflix's newest offering that is blowing up everywhere. It's practically breaking the internet. I'm not an expert. I'm certainly not the demo, so I brought in backup. Ladies and gentlemen, you know her, you love her, entertainment journalist, Taylor Hanson. How are you?
I'm great, Mark. Thanks for having me on.
Yeah, look, I'm a little creeped out that I'm leaning into this series so much because it's not designed for people like me. I'm about 100 years too old to be watching it, but I am enjoying it. So you tell us, what will we love about Teenage Bounty Hunters?
I think it's just something we haven't seen before. We obviously haven't seen a TV show about teenage bounty hunters, let alone teenage bounty hunters who are living in a southern community, you know, trying to navigate their way through growing up. And so I think it's something that's a little bit trendier and different and just exciting, something that we need right now, especially because we're all craving new TV shows and movies.
You know, back when I was a kid, we had teenage vampire slayers, and that was good enough. But now we got bounty hunters. Wouldn't you say it's a little bit more relatable? I guess more so than vampire slayers.
I guess that's true. It's just a little funny for me because these are teenagers, but they're still older than me. The most of the cast is 25 and I'm 24. So it's just really funny seeing these 25-year-olds play 16-year-olds.
Yeah, that's what blew me away about it. I mean, it reminded me of like Grease, like John Travolta and Olivia Newton-John were like 10, 15 years out of high school when they shot that. You know, if we go back to the matter at hand, some of this is so inappropriate, you would have to have adults playing the part of teenage.
I guess that's true. And that's why it's funny because it says teenage bounty hunters, right? I think it's geared a little bit more towards young adults, but I guess it's at your own discretion.
All right, so if we've sparked your curiosity and you haven't seen a spark of this yet, we broke off a sample. Take a look.
We obviously have a gift for this line of work. Bowser gets it, but we can't expect other people to.
This has to remain top secret. You're right. It's like we've been recruited. The best of the best get recruited. Like football players, the CIA, national merit scholars.
And models!
I do think this whole thing was kind of like meant to be. I've never been so excited about like working.
It's kind of like we found our calling. Most people don't know what they want to do with their lives till they're old, like 25.
Yeah, what if we become the best bounty hunters in Atlanta?
Or the whole state.
Or the whole country. What's stopping us? I wish we could tell Mom and Dad. They'd be so proud.
But we never will. This could all go away if people find out.
Yeah, okay, never telling.
Never telling. Twin swear.
Were you blown away when, and I mean this in a good and bad way because it does open up greater conversations, when things started happening in real life that happened in the backdrop of this show?
Oh yeah, there are some parallels from real life in the show, and like the most notable one that always comes to my mind is the whole situation with the statues, Confederate statues coming down. Queen Kincaid from the show, she was chopping off heads of the statues, and like there's been like protests and people wanting these statues to come down, and I think it was just really cool to see that kind of parallel, especially told in the way that it was told in the show. A strong woman taking matters into her own hands.
Okay, we're going to wrap it up on a light note. You guys go on a first date. So starting with you, Angelica, can you tell me the most unusual place you've ever gone on a first date?
Oh God, dating is so archaic, Mark. I feel like I don't even know if I've gone on a date in my life.
I know.
Oh gosh. No, I don't know. Maybe like, I think I did bumper cars once.
All right, that'll work. Miles?
Dude, that's a hard one. Weirdest place I did a first date, I would say like walking around the quad at the high school instead of going out someplace because we didn't have a motor vehicle or a license to operate one. So, hey, you want to meet after class outside and do that kind of thing?
Boys.
You know?
There you go. And the cafeteria is probably prepaid, so you saved the buck at the same time.
Exactly.
Even my dog, when I start talking, even my dog rolled its eyes whenever I said first date. People don't do dates anymore,
People don't do
especially
dates.
during a pandemic.
Nope.
Okay.
What are you ladies doing here? Oh, you're lucky I didn't use my gun.
That's okay. We'll use ours.
All right, girls. If you want to keep working with me, the assignment, bring in the fugitive.
We obviously have a gift for this line of work.
What if we become the best bounty hunters in Atlanta? What's stopping us?
Hola, Carolina. Yo soy trabajo.
Can't take your eyes off.
I've just got a lot on my plate right now. With debate and AP Chem. I'm like totally swamped.
How about we get to work? Come on.
Oh, my arms.
I haven't eaten yet this afternoon.
All right, so they said that they did their own action stunts. Does that make you a little bit more impressed with these actors?
Oh, for sure. I think that would be so cool. You know, I think definitely Angelica, who played Blair, had a lot of action scenes. Like, she was the one that I was saying jumped on the car. And I remember when I saw that, I was like, how did she hold on? So I think it's really cool to think that these actors really went through it to play the part.
Week to week. Don't look at me week to week. I'm 100 years old. Every episode begins with a different assignment that these young bounty hunters have to go on. So I'm going to ask you, Taylor Hanson, hold this thought during the commercial break. Which of their assignments would you most want to go after? And what are those assignments? We'll catch up with the rest of the cast and talk about that when Extra Butter continues. Don't move.
How much longer do we have to watch this woman frost bangs? It can only take so much.
The shift was supposed to be over an hour ago. Maybe she had pulled into a double.
What's wrong with you?
Oh, that. I drank a smoothie earlier. Didn't know it had liquid in it.
You know, you can go to the bathroom like a normal person. There's a gas station down the street.
No,
Bowser, it's really bad for your
I'm
body.
fine. Please, just talk amongst yourselves, will you?
What does it mean when you kiss with your eyes open?
Okay, I'm out. I'll be back in 10.
Seriously, what do you think it means?
Hey, welcome back to Extra Butter. Thanks for hanging out with us. Hope you grabbed a cold one during that break. We are talking about and dedicating half of this Extra Butter to Netflix's new show that's breaking the internet. It is Teenage Bounty Hunters. And in case you didn't get it, it's a show about teenage bounty hunters. I can't be the expert because I'm a middle-aged guy. That would just make me creepy. So I brought in Taylor Hanson. Thanks for being our expert. Thanks for coming back.
Yeah, I'm really happy to be here.
Each and every episode begins with them talking about a different assignment. If you could pick any of the vast and varied assignments that they're given, which would you pick?
Well, a lot of the assignments are a little risque, so I don't know.
A little?
They really are. I guess it's just part of making the show more exciting. I don't know. But I personally would just like to work at the yogurt shop that they work at because the character Blair constantly has a little cup of ice cream or frozen yogurt, and she's constantly eating it. So, I mean, I would take that assignment, just working in the yogurt shop.
The yogurt shop is a front for their bounty hunter business. And the guy that owns the yogurt shop is the same guy that sends them on their bounty hunting assignments. You know Kadeem Bowser. He's been in everything. He's brilliant. I caught up with Kadeem and Maddie Phillips. That's who plays Sterling to talk about it. Take a look. So I want to know your family. I want to know their reaction before they see it, when they heard about it. Like Maddie, for instance, when you're telling your family about this thing you've gotten involved with, they're all teenage. What? How did they react?
Well, my mom and I are very close. It's kind of like just she and I. So it really wasn't a big deal at all. She knows me. She knows I'm not like Sterling in a lot of ways. And she gets my wacky sense of humor. And so she got this instantly. So it was all just very exciting and positive from day one.
Now, with that said, for people who haven't seen it, there are a lot of awesome things about Sterling, too, that we could aspire to.
Oh, totally. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, for sure.
Kadeem, you know, publicists ask, please don't ask personal questions, but I feel like I would be remiss if I didn't come at you with this. What is your favorite kind of yogurt?
I like anything strawberry or lemon. Anything. Ice cream, anything. Strawberry or lemon, I'm good.
Are you guys No, this is sad news, but at the same time, good news that we can all talk about it. It's opening up a greater discussion so that we can become better people in a better country. But are you blown away when the country starts going through specifically stuff that's in episodes like episode 3?
I mean, I've made lots of jokes to Kathleen about how she's psychic and not telling us.
Right.
But yeah, I think it was just an incredible opportunity to start a conversation before the world was starting a conversation about that as much as it has been lately. So I think that it was just a really magical coincidence that, I mean, I started, thinking about, things like that before I was in my room in quarantine. So it's just, really crazy.
Yeah. How about you, Kadeem?
Yeah, Kathleen, it's amazing that we were talking about Confederate statues last July. We were shooting that script, and then all of a sudden everything happened, and then that became the conversation 2 months before we, premiered the show. And I was like, wow, go Kathleen. Like,
amen.
That's her.
Amen. All right, so finish this sentence as we wrap it up. Watch Teenage Bounty Hunters because, Kadeem, you go.
Because it's what we need right now to see what humans can be to each other when they're good to each other. Even if you're from one side of the track or the other side of the track, this is what happens when you put all that stuff aside and just relate.
See, that's why I could never be a bounty hunter working out of a yogurt shop. For that matter, I could never even work in a yogurt shop because I would constantly be getting high off the supply. I'd be 600 pounds. What's your favorite yogurt?
My favorite, I love anything with peanut butter. I remember in one of the episodes, Blair talks about getting extra gummy bears, and that made me cringe so hard because gummy bears and frozen ice cream yogurt, they just don't mix because they get frozen. But anything with peanut butter, I'm there.
Wait, hey, did you hear that? I've got a teenage son, and we have this argument all the time.
Thanks for helping reinforce my point.
Anytime.
All right, so I'm going to put you on the spot here. Fill in the blanks here. If you like blank, you'll probably like Teenage Bounty Hunter.
I don't even know. If you like always being surprised, then watch Teenage or always being shocked.
Wow, that's putting it mildly. Thanks so much for hanging out. I know people want to catch up with you, so where can we find you online?
You can find me on all social media platforms at taylor.hnsn.
Awesome. Hey, go get yourself some peanut yogurt, put it on our bill, and thanks for hanging out with us.
Sounds good. Thanks so much, Mark.
Don't put any gummy products in there.
Yeah, I love my teeth. Gonna keep them.
All right, thanks again for hanging out. All right, when we come back on Extra Butter, award winner Lawrence Fishburn joins us to talk about his newest series that you'll see 8 minutes at a time. Why? He'll explain next. Hey, welcome back to Extra Butter. Be sure and like and subscribe if you're watching on YouTube. And if you're not watching on YouTube, jump on YouTube and like and subscribe. And to those watching on AFN in 168 different countries and territories worldwide, we thank you for your service. Hey, speaking of service, our next series I want to talk about involves an Iraqi war vet. But first, you got to get the app, Quibi. Once you do that, it opens up the world. This series is remarkable. It's brought to you by producer Anton Fuqua, who brought you movies like Training Day and lots of others, and it stars the amazing Lawrence Fishburne. I caught up with him in his home to talk about it, starting with the difficult questions. How are you doing?
I'm good, Mark. How are you?
I'm doing great. Where are you holding up?
I'm here in Los Angeles, and everything is good.
Best as can be, right?
Yeah.
Congratulations on everything, and especially on something that I consider to be probably, in a man who's had a billion great things in his career, one of the greatest things you've ever done.
Bless you. Thank you so much.
How wild is it for you, and how moving is it for you that when this country is going through something that this absolutely resonates with, it's already in the can?
Yeah, we did this in 2019 in the summer in New Orleans. And, it's bittersweet because, yes, it's timely. It is of the moment. And it is a tragedy. And one that has been repeating itself too often in our country. And the hope is that it will create room for dialogue so that people can really talk about it at a deeper level, and maybe we can try and figure out how we can change things so that this doesn't happen so often.
I think you hit the nail on the head. You may have heard some enthusiasm, and I was just saying enthusiastically, when the world needs more things to shed light and to shine light and to open up those discussions.
Yes.
Well, here we are, and a spoonful of sugar helps the medicine go down, and at the same time, it's incredibly compelling and suspenseful.
Yeah, it's very entertaining, and it's really timely. I thought when I read it that one of the most impactful components of it was that the character Rayshawn uses social media to bring people to his aid. And as prevalent as social media is in our lives now, I thought that was really significant and important.
And the nice thing about it, you're sharing this on a platform that's going to be right next to everybody's social media too. That's got to be exciting.
Yeah, it was. I mean, I've been saying for a long time, whoever figures out how to deliver content for our portable devices, that person is really going to strike gold. So,
and I know I'm going to make a sloppy mess of mixing up all kinds of ownerships and studios, but if I had to pick 3 Lawrence Fishburn titles and break them down for Quibi, what would they be? Give me 3 of your best.
Well, Free Rayshawn, no doubt.
Absolutely. It's
then
there.
I would say, something from way back in the day, which would be Pee-wee's Playhouse.
There you go. Some Cowboy Curtis. Break it down to your origin.
A little light entertainment while you're going to work. And then lastly, my goodness, what would it be?
I'll just jump in and say my favorite, Event Horizon.
Oh, cool. Okay, great. Kind of suspenseful. Yeah, that's fun.
But there is no Lawrence Fishburne product that isn't amazing. Congratulations on everything. It's good to see you well, and awesome work in this.
Thank you so much. Be safe.
Loved him as Cowboy Curtis. And by the way, if you're not familiar with Event Horizons, it's only one of the best sci-fi horror movies ever made. Except for Aliens. Anyway, forget about that. Coming up in a moment, where would Free Rayshawn be without Rayshawn? Stephen James brings him to life. We will be live with he and Jasmine Jones. Get that Quibi app, and we'll be right back. Hey, welcome back to Extra Butter. When we last left off, I was talking about a series you need to watch in your phone, courtesy of Quibi. That means it's broken up into 8 to 10 minute chunks, which will be interesting because this series is produced by none other than the legendary Antoine Fuqua, who brought you Equalizer, Training Day, and lots of other movies. But where would Free Rayshawn be without Rayshawn himself? Stephen James brings him to life. His wife is played by Jasmine Jones. I had a chance to catch up with the two of them in their homes. Take a look. First question, and we'll start ladies first. Where are you and how are you?
I'm in Brooklyn, New York, and I'm doing pretty well today.
I'm in LA and the sun is shining, so no complaints.
Awesome. Well, I'm glad I can bridge the gap between the coast right now. Thank you so much for hanging out with me.
Of course. Thank you.
Absolutely.
There are very few products and projects I can think of that land right when the world needs them the most as this. Talk about the greater conversations this thing's going to open up.
Yeah, no question. I think that's part of the reason why Jasmine and I chose to do something like this was just because, it's so timely, so relevant, unfortunately relevant even. But there is something to be said for art that imitates life. And, honestly, during this past wave of social unrest, we really couldn't have predicted that this would happen. We shot Free Rayshawn last year before any of, George Floyd or anything else was going down, Breonna Taylor. And so, an unfortunate sort of coincidence, but that's why I think it's important to tell stories like this, to continue to have these discussions and continue to spread light on these issues.
Jasmine, I'm wondering, and without plot spoiling, there are moments in this that take you to the edge. Is it hard to recover after a scene like that? How do you go on with your day? I would nap for weeks after executing some of these scenes.
Honestly, some of these scenes I did want to nap for weeks. Some of them were very, very emotional for me. And I literally just went back to my hotel and slept. You you want to give the story justice and you want to be as truthful as possible. And I think all of us really did give a piece of ourselves. And it was important for us to do that. So I think all of us were very emotionally invested and gave a part of us, which is really important.
What I love about this is that it throws a broad net. So many people are going to discover it, and people that, may not have gotten a message till now, may have not been activated to do something to support until now. And they say a spoonful of medicine helps a spoonful of sugar helps the medicine go down. And this is indeed, on top of everything, incredibly suspenseful and entertaining. Do the scripts read like that? Do the pages turn like that?
I know for me, I mean, I was excited from the moment I first read this thing. It kind of reminded me a little bit of Dog Day Afternoon, which is one of my favorite films. Just a
good pull.
Yeah, contained thriller, something that just keeps you on the edge of your seat. And obviously, hearing that I was going to be working with Jasmine and working with Lawrence, to me, it was just a no-brainer.
Well, both of you, it's brilliant. Congratulations on it. And everybody's going to be seeing this by the end of the day. They are remarkable, as is the series. Free Rayshawn. Get the Quibi app. Get it in your phone. It deserves every Emmy nomination and win that it's going to get. It's just that good. 8 to 10 minutes at a time. You have no excuse for not watching it. All right. I guess we've seen it all. We've said it all. We've done it all. That's it for this Extra Butter. Be sure and like and subscribe on YouTube. And look, there's some time in the credits, which is good because I bought a ukulele during this pandemic quarantine, and I've been rehearsing a song that I'm going to perform for you now. I wrote it just for you. She was a fast machine. She kept her motor clean. She was a... Yeah, I know. I can't sing and I can't play, and it doesn't matter because credits are over.